Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Paul and welcome to the Paul Show. And I really wasn't expecting to be making this video today. I wasn't planning on it and it certainly caught me by surprise. The topic of this video caught me by surprise. You probably know already from the title of this video. And let me just tell you, like, from the previous videos, previous episodes of the Paul Show, you know already that I'm a wrestling fan. But apart from wrestling, I also love football, the real football, the one that you actually kick the ball for the majority of the game. And look, I've loved Manchester United since 2006, 2007, since I was a little kid. And I know it's not a story of a diehard fan who remembers the 80s or the 70s, but like the bulk of my time as a Manchester United fan is when the club was in absolute shambles, right? I've Despite the results, despite the lack of trophies and the mess behind the scenes, I've always been behind Manchester United. I've always supported Manchester United. There's been I haven't had a moment in my life when I thought of changing allegiance and picking a different club to support because I'm a Manchester United fan and like look, this fucking t-shirt isn't here for no reason. Like it's not much. It's not like you know, it's just to show that it means something. Like I'm not a person to spend money on fucking novelties. Like the fact that I got this t-shirt is in itself proof that I mean how much this club means to me. Because otherwise I wouldn't bother. And seeing my beloved club sack another manager mid season again, and not for the results, not for lack of trophies, but for poor relationship with a guy who's incompetent and who's been sabotaging the manager for months. Because what else can you say about Wilcox? Like, let's be honest with ourselves. If you're gonna sack Amarim, you've got to sack Wilcox as well. It doesn't make sense to get rid of one but not the other. Like, I can understand people people being against Amarim because of the results. Like, they are wrong for this because it's not entirely Amarim's fault, but I can understand the thinking behind it. But you gotta understand, in the summer, like okay, maybe not. Let's start with when they signed Amarim. When they first signed Amarim, he wanted to take charge at the end of the season, to have full preseason, to have the new transfers, and to get his philosophy across with the new team and get the best out of the players and out of the team and get the results immediately. Instead, Man United's board with Jim Ratcliffe and Omar Barada and Wilcox and whoever else, Darren Fletcher. I don't know how much of a say he had with it, but whatever. Um, they insisted he took charge immediately, and basically they said either take it or leave it. If you don't take the job now, we're not coming back in the summer. Which is okay, fair enough. In that case, you're basically saying we will hire you. You have a distinct style of play. We accept this style of play. We will help you. We will sign players for you. We will back you in building the team that's capable of playing the way you want it to play. And when that's done, we will then evaluate if it's bringing the results we want. So it's a long term project. They said it themselves. He's at the club for 3 years. And then we will see if the results are what they want them to be, if the club is where they want it to be, if everyone's happy with the with the state of things, and based on that, they will make a call. Okay, fine. So they basically wrote off the entirety of last season because they hired Amarim accepting the fact that there won't be immediate results. And that's cool. Maybe it's not the right call in those circumstances. I mean, not sacking Ten Hag after the FA Cup final was a mistake in itself. And then extending his contract was like, I don't know what they were thinking even. And then sacking him 2 or 3 months into the season was just batshit crazy. And then signing a manager who's playing a completely different style. The club doesn't have players to fit into. And not signing anyone. Well, they signed Dorgu, but come on. So basically not signing anyone in January to support the manager in any way. Like this is alarming. And it's five major decisions in the span of 6 months that proved to be catastrophic for last season. And let's be honest, let's face the music. We barely escaped relegation. Well, not escaped relegation, but we barely survived. We barely dodged being in the relegation fight. And it has nothing to do with Amarim. Because the guy came here to instill his style of play, his philosophy, and he didn't have any tools to do it. And to be completely fair, no matter who came in instead of Amarim in November last year, it was an impossible task because of the state of the squad. But okay, so Amarim got to the end of the season. They obviously weren't bothered by the results. They said it. He's in here for 3 years, and then we're gonna evaluate the results. Awesome. Long-term project, something that hasn't been done at Manchester United for years. So that's actually optimistic. That's very positive. That's a good sign. And then they go on to completely ignore the fact that the manager they are giving 3 years to um, doesn't have a midfield. The defense is largely consists of teenagers or very young players, uh, or unproven players, or players who are very injury prone, and it needs some additions, and then ignoring the fact that we don't have wing backs capable of playing in a way that Emery's system requires, and then just signing fucking attacking players because why not? Right? That's the genius of James. I believe his name is James Wilcox, the fucking sporting director, who who is so great and so fantastic at his job that he ignores all the problems within the squad and just crams in as many attacking players as possible. We had Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount, who obviously we didn't want to sell. Okay, who's injury prone. Okay, that's an argument. We had Garnacho, source of leaks, a very stubborn player, very young player. We wanted him gone. I wanted him gone. So I completely agree with letting him go. Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford. I wanted him gone. It's good that he went to Barcelona. It's just a loan deal, but hopefully he's done with Manchester United at this point. I don't want to see him wear Manchester United jersey ever again. Um, uh, Ahmad, who else? Fucking Anthony. So a lot of attacking players, even if they weren't at the required level, right? You don't. If you get rid of Garnacho and Rashford, you're still left with 5 or 6 players, and then you have the academy that you can take players as understudies. I don't see a reason to sign 3 players for a combined what, £150 million? What's the logic there? You don't have a base, but you wanna build the fucking ceiling. Where's the logic? Where's the squad building in this? What's the point of that? Yeah, okay, fantastic. Now we are. Amarin basically started this season with 2 midfielders. Because, okay, Mount can play there, but he's made of glass. Bruno, contrary to popular belief, first of all, he's not world class. He's not even a midfielder. He's a false nine. He's a second striker, whatever you want to call it. He's a 10. He's an attacking player who wants freedom and who wants to be close to the opposition goal, and who wants to shoot and make late runs and score, and for the entire attacking play to be focused around him. That's what he wants. That's why he should be gone from the club, by the way, and we should have accepted the offer from Saudi. That's a separate discussion. And he's 30 to top it all off. But whatever, right? Still, Casemiro and fucking Ugarte are the only 2 players capable of playing in defensive midfield at the club. And Casemiro is what, 33? Right. Fantastic. You need 2 athletic defensive midfielders who are capable with the ball at their feet. and you get Ugarte and Casemiro, and then you have fucking 10 attacking players, because why not? And then you have Dalot and Dorgu playing as wingbacks, which I don't have anything against Dorgu. Just as a side note, I like him. I think he's a very promising player, but he's very young, very raw. He still has a lot to learn, and he can't be relied on as a starter just yet. So we needed to sign wingbacks, or a wingback at least, because on the right side we are sort of settled with Ahmad. Dot isn't a great understudy, but whatever. So we needed a left wing back. We needed at least one defensive minded midfielder, maybe a center back, and then maybe think about one uh, attacking player to upgrade the attack. And we got 3 attacking players and a goalkeeper, which the goalkeeper signing, that's perfect. That's fantastic. But that's like, I I have fucking nightmares of the transfer window when we signed Varane and Ronaldo. And everyone, like, the entire social media, it was just, what a fantastic transfer window by Manchester United. They are back. They are going to challenge for the title. And I'm one of the very few people who say, no, it's a shit transfer window actually, because we didn't address any of the actual issues that we've been having. And people were laughing at me. And then, well, who was right? And that's the same thing. Why sign so many attacking players? Why send Højlund on loan? And sign another young, unproven striker in his place? The issue with Højlund wasn't that he's bad. I mean, he was, but okay. The issue was that he didn't have anyone to learn from. An experienced striker who could play, who could be the starter, and who from whom Højlund could be learning from, and just be his understudy. Because he just wasn't ready. And yeah, they just made the same mistakes again. And Amorim wanted a central midfielder. He wanted a central midfielder in the summer. He wanted a central midfielder now in the January transfer window. And instead of a central midfielder, they are looking at fucking Semenyo. This is giving me cancer. Oh my god. At least Semenyo could play as a wingback, I guess, because I don't see how he fits in the attacking trio. But fuck me twice and call me Mary. But yeah, so Amorim wanted a midfielder in the summer, wanted one in January, didn't get one because Wilcox said he knew better. Great, awesome, great job, mate. Like, what's the point? You refused to back the manager. You basically wanted to build the entire squad yourself. So what? Maybe we just move Wilcox from sporting director to the head coach position. If he wanted to build the squad so bad, maybe he knows how to, manage them and coach them. Maybe he's the man for the job. Jesus fuck. Pardon my French, but this is really exhausting. And it really doesn't make any sense in the world. No matter if you are Amarim out or Amarim in, it's wrong timing, wrong reasoning, wrong person being sacked. Like nothing here works. Nothing. And what they're gonna do now? The next two games, Darren Fletcher is gonna be in charge. The man who hasn't managed one single minute in professional football ever in his life. And then they will likely sign another caretaker until the end of the season. And then we're gonna look for another full-time manager. And then the new full-time manager will experience the same issues. They will be overpowered with everything. Like, I know the head coach or the manager at the club isn't responsible and should never be responsible for scouting or making signings or picking players to be signed. But they know which positions they need players in. I'm not saying that Amarim should be picking a player like, oh, I want fucking Hulman from Sporting, for example, and Wilcox is just has to be a good little boy and sign Hulman. Doesn't work like that. It also doesn't work in a way that Amarim says, I need a center mid, and Wilcox says, fucking good to know. I'm gonna sign 3 strikers. They should be working together. The manager telling the sporting director who he needs, which positions they need to be filled in the squad or strengthened or whatever. And the sporting director needs to do their best to sign the best possible player for the position in question. And when you have a manager saying one thing and the sporting director doing a completely different thing, it's not going to work. And it's not a matter of Amarim or fucking Solskjaer or Ten Hag or Mourinho or Conte or anyone really. If you have an environment at the club that the sporting director basically does what he wants and the head coach is left with a squad that they didn't assemble and they just have to deal with it and make the players somehow happy with the minutes they're getting, and then on top of that get the results as well. Like, it's mission impossible. You're not doing that. There's no way to do that. And Tuchel Chelsea and Amarim at United, those are just two examples of what happens when there's basically power imbalance. I think Wilcox abused his power and Amarim paid the price. And that's not acceptable. It shouldn't be happening. And honestly, this season is a write-off. We should be finishing in the European places. We are now 5th. We should be finishing in European places. Amarim would have had us finish in European places, maybe even in the top 4, because we are 3 points off, something like that. So it's very much it would have been possible if had he stayed. But now it's a write-off. We're not finishing in top 7. You heard it here first. We're not finished. Manchester United ain't finishing in the top seven in 2025-26 season. And then they will probably hire fucking, I don't even know. If I were to pick a manager I would want at Manchester United now, well, first of all, knowing the toxic culture behind the scenes and how Wilcox is always right, and the manager just has to deal with with the aftermath. I honestly don't know one single manager who could deal with such situation because it's, as I said, it's mission impossible. Um, I don't I don't want to expose the managers that I like and that I want to succeed to something like that. So I'm not gonna say McKenna, for example, because that's one guy I really want to succeed and I really want him to do good. And he's doing well. He's doing very well at Ipswich. And it's a miracle nobody snapped him up yet. And by the way, if I may just say two words about Ipswich, congratulations to them because they are doing a fantastic job. They are a prime example of how you should treat your manager. McKenna had them go up to the Premier League, then they couldn't survive. They didn't blame the manager. They realized they didn't have the squad capable of staying up. They kept him for another year, and now they are on course to go up again. That's how you do it. Long term project. But yeah, I guess what English fans have been making fun of in Italian football, like Serie A clubs, sacking managers left, right, and center. Yeah, you've become what you've basically become what you hate or what you make fun of, I guess. Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Man United. Good on you. I don't have any expectations for this season, for the next season, not even for the season after that. I don't think Man United will be anywhere near the top three, let alone winning the title in the next 5 years. I don't really see it happening in the next decade, really. With this sort of abuse of power and just basically having no idea how to manage a club and how to support the manager. That's it. That's all I had to say. I wanted to vent. Obviously, it took fucking 30 minutes of my life, and I'm just exhausted. But yeah, Burnley is next. Darren Fletcher, do your thing. Whatever your thing is. You're not a fucking head coach. See you guys next time. Bye.